We have Audry from New York. Beautiful Bree from Florida. Margaret, who lives in Wisconsin by way of Australia. Welcome, ladies. This has been quite the week we've shared.
Yes, it has.
Here you are on stage. Do you feel nervous, excited?
Super excited.
Yeah.
Sad, but excited.
Why are you sad?
Sad because it's Saturday, and it's like, wow, it's been such an amazing week, and it's like, I don't want it to end.
What was the highlight of your week, if you had to?
Only one?
Yeah.
The ultimate highlight of this week for me was connecting with my son. My son, at the age of 21, was murdered. And it's been 4.5 years. And it's been a very hard but amazing journey. Like, we're closer now than when he was here in the physical.
Wow.
And that's part of our purpose. That was part of our soul contract. Hey, I'm going to do this for you, and we're going to do this together. And sharing that true love that no matter what traumas and that you go through here and this realm and in the flesh, that it's all about overcoming and unconditionally loving, no matter what, and being able to truly forgive.
Interesting synchronicity. I mean, I feel like I've heard his name all week. So what I'd forgotten is we had someone who showed up here, who's here tonight, Dakota, was here doing a music video a week ago, and I met him briefly, and then he's like, oh, I felt really called to be here tonight to help with the set and, everything that goes into producing. And I'm like, oh, wow, thank you for coming back. Meanwhile, I met him the day before you showed up for the week, and then I heard, of course, your son has been a topic of conversation, that, a lot of emotion around Dakota and the passing of Dakota and processing that, and you had a, holotropic breath work workshop that we went through, where you had a lot of connection and release, and then lo and behold, here's this happy figure that comes in, and you were just telling me how he shows up in different forms, or someone who looked like him, who always reminded you of, would come up and say these incredible things to you back at home, and it was always like, I know that's him coming through, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, it's me, Dakota. Remember me? You met me last week at the music video, and I'm like, oh yeah, Dakota, yeah.
Of course,
and I'm like,
Dakota
and
would
I
show
heard
up.
his name said, and your ears were like. It was really cool, and so I saw you guys hugging right before we went into the segment. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad to be seeing that happen. That's like such a beautiful, another wink, another synchronicity. It's like the stuff, you can't make it up. It's
No,
like, that's not like John or Billy or
No, you cannot
like
make
Dakota,
this. You can't.
Right? So yeah, wow. Thank you for sharing in your vulnerability,
welcome.
and you've
Thank
been
you.
such a gift and blessing in this house.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been awesome.
Audry, how's it been for you?
I mean, I'll start with this week, what I've been working on is letting go of just a lot of resentment and self-doubt, and just this week I wanted to learn how to love myself again. And I deal with a lot of anxiety, social anxiety, and so coming into here and making connections in the way that we did was huge for me and transformational. But my question for you, in my daily life, I deal with a lot of anxiety, and I work on film sets for 12 hours a day as a PA, and they probably get the most, the end of the stress that leads down from everyone. And just kind of, you were talking about the dosha, right? The energies, and if specifically in my life, if I wanted to bring in more earth, what was the word for that one?
Kapha
dosha. What in my daily life would I be doing to begin that process of bringing that in?
Don't shave your armpits.
Besides that.
Besides that, there's got to be more.
So, you know, the first question is, do you want to keep working this job?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to be there, but it has a lot of stress. What do you see as something that you instantly could shift that would make you feel less stressed out?
Maybe taking more moments for myself, I guess, because I'm constantly around people, talking to people, and that builds up, and then it just all breaks at some point.
So in those moments for yourself, do you think you could go outside at all?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Maybe just like taking a walk. Is there any grass or soil in that area, or is it just cement?
I live in New York, so quite
there a
the
park?
concrete jungle. Usually not.
To connect to Earth, you know, within us, we have to connect to our physical planet. So any contact that you could have with Earth would be really beneficial. Grounding, there's so many benefits to grounding. There are now, you know, technology that you could also get. It's not the same as walking on, you know, if you just take your shoes off and you walk in the soil, you're receiving the negative ions that are in this earth that can recalibrate your positive ionic charge, which happens just from, you know, being disconnected. We have rubber soles on all the time, which doesn't allow the earth's energy to come through and heal us. And that's often why we become anxious. So sometimes, like, let's say I'm staying at hotels, I'll literally go to like the Marriott's like little pool area, and there's a tree, but there's some soil next to that tree, and I will take my shoes off and just stand on it, just to like let my body know I'm here, because our bodies don't even know where we are when we're not connected to the earth, and then they can't properly, you know, give us the nutrients that we need, and because every environment is totally different. So any connection you can have to earth, I mean, literally hugging a tree, why do they do it? You're touching, like even touching a plant, all of those can be really beneficial. So that's one thing. Another thing you could do is just connecting to your body, which is like your earth. So, you know, in a lot of shamanic practices, et cetera, they do shaking, which I've found super beneficial. I don't know if you guys have been shaking this week, but even just like going to the bathroom in a bathroom stall and like letting your body shake, because we hold so much tension and trauma all somatically. So if you can just go in there, knees bent, and just allow yourself to shake, you're literally shaking off that stress that, you know, I can tell you're an empath and you're probably just holding on to a lot of things that aren't yours. So if you look at any animal, any dog, et cetera, they all shake. You know, they shake and then they're good again. But we as humans, for some reason, stopped doing that. So if you can just have shaking and earthing in your life, you're going to feel so much more grounded.
Okay, awesome. I'll just grab some soil, take it with me.
Yes, yes. This is my friend.
Spread it.
Like
Yeah.
in a baby carriage. You're like,
Don't mind me, everyone.
What's his name?
Awesome. That definitely helps. Thank you.
I like that.
Miss Margaret.
I want to say thank you for sharing that you don't have to go through hardship, because I have not gone through hardship. Well, I don't feel I have at this particular incarnation. And I feel like perfect parents, blessed childhood, happy, wonderful. And I thought, there's something wrong with me. I can't grow, I can't transcend, because I haven't like dug into the depths of hell. But, you know, you said that you don't necessarily need to do that. You know, here I am trying to get higher vibrations, and I think, you know, I need to be dragged through hell for that, because I haven't experienced it. So I feel like that I don't fit in almost, because everyone's got this massive, heart-wrenching story. But when I found out that you were our guest, and, you know, I love what you say, you can't make shit up. That's one of my favorite sayings. So I couldn't believe that you were Ayurveda, because that was one of my chosen modalities in the very early 2000s when I was searching. I was a police officer for 25 years in service, and
Wow.
it no longer served me, and I didn't feel that was serving people at that time. So I was looking for something else. I went Reiki, I went pranic healing, and then finally got into Ayurveda Vata, and you're right about Vata, okay, just saying. You're right about Vata, this is me. I'm Vata, like almost 100%. So I started to learn, and I did a whole year's study, but then was plucked out of that state, you know, following the family, and it wasn't offered. I was in Sydney, I was doing the Ayurveda study, trying to learn a new way, trying to learn my new path, and I was plucked out of that, and when I went to Melbourne, it wasn't offered there. And I felt it was a huge calling, and what I love about Ayurveda is it's holistic. So I'm so excited. I thought, oh my gosh, I haven't thought about Ayurveda for years and how I haven't finished my study. So I'm like, you're coming here and presenting on Ayurveda. Is there any opportunities for me to continue my study?
Yeah, well, I think your soul is inviting you to come back and continue those studies. I can obviously give you suggestions. I have my own programs, et cetera, but I also wanted to speak to feeling like you haven't had the trauma. And I believe that we are all meant to heal, but on different dimensions. And some people are really working in the shadows, and some people are really working in the high frequency. And you seem like a rainbow child to me, you know?
That's so nice.
And you know, and it's interesting because most rainbow children are like the children being born like now, like past 2000, but you were like an early rainbow child who came in and really like the indigo children were the people who had to overcome something so they could then become part of raising consciousness. But the rainbow children were the ones who were just born into it and are like, I'm gonna just be my colorful self and like this is who I am. And that's you. And even the fact that you were a police officer and still can't resonate with any trauma kind of shows
That's
that
interesting.
that frequency that you're holding, because I'm sure a lot of people in that same position could have perceived traumas in that, but you're just not vibrating at that level that you're like, it's not affecting me. Everything is great. A divorce, a lot of people that could have brought them low, but you're like, it's just a divorce, you know? So I think it speaks a lot to you and the vibration that you carry. And, you know, we could all go through the same thing, and at the end of the day, it's how we perceive it.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very well said. Wow, this has been amazing. You three lovely ladies, you four lovely ladies. What it's like a rose between thorns, or yeah. Just kidding. A thorn between roses. All right. Thank you guys so much for showing up and blessing up this stage. And speaking of lovely ladies, we have one last incredible offering left for you tonight, and it is the phenomenal singer Fia, and she is going to play her song Phoenix, and it is it's special. You're going to love it, and thank you everyone for showing up. Until next time, journey well.